Hey, Zanko here, and welcome to the #1 vibe coding channel on YouTube. Now, today we'll be building out a $10,000 per month software. I'll be building it out live in front of you step by step, and I'll show you how you can make this in just under 2 hours without writing any code whatsoever. I'm not a developer and I'm not a coder, so we're going to have an AI tool build out this entire application for us. Now, today's build is we'll be building a construction change order management application. And now, if you don't know what this is, it's a very, very expensive problem for construction companies because these commercial construction companies will start to work on a building, on a project, and let's say the client wants a change. Let's say the client says, oh, let's move actually this wall from here to here. Well, right now, there's no great way to track this. It's either over messy emails or text messages or just sending PDFs back and forth. And it's kind of all over the place, and there's no one streamlined place for communication. And so this application will solve that problem. Now, they're willing to pay this much because this problem to them is worth $50K and up. It costs a lot of money for a change order to not be approved and not be documented correctly. Now, here's your power stack. We'll be using Claude Code to build out this application, which is our AI coding tool. We're going to be using something called Supabase, and this is basically our database. And then we're going to be using an application called Vercel to actually deploy this live on the internet and allow users to sign up and to pay us money. So the first thing is we are going to create a Claude MD file. And basically you can think of this as a guide or a map for the particular project that we want to build. Now, Claude is kind of dumb and Claude forgets sometimes. And so we need to provide Claude a file that gives it context that it can always remember what we're doing and stay on track. So I'm just going to tell Claude to create a Claude MD file. And we can change modes by holding Shift and Tab. And I'm just going to go straight into Auto Accept Edits On. And I'm going to pull up Aqua Voice, my dictation app, to basically speak this into Claude. So let's do that right now. Let's build a Claude MD file for this project. We are building Change Track Pro. And this will be a web application specifically catered to contractors and subcontractors who work on commercial projects. This is basically an application that is solving the pain point of revenue leakage, of not clear communication, and not being on the same page with the client and making a change that wasn't approved, or the client requesting a change that wasn't approved, etc. Now, as far as my technical experience, I have very little technical experience and very little coding knowledge, and I'll be building this on a MacBook Pro. We'll be building this entire application in Claude Code. We'll be using Supabase for the database, and we'll be deploying to Vercel. Create me a Claude MD file and take everything I just said and format it in a nice and organized, clean way that's appropriate for this file. I get created already. So let's go into that. But it just says Project Overview. Change Track Pro is a web application designed specifically for contractors and subcontractors working on commercial projects. The application addresses the critical issue of revenue leakage caused by unclear communication and unapproved changes. So, yeah. Looks pretty good. Technical experience. We are just trying to give, guys, we want to assume that Claude is dumb and knows nothing. Like, it's an AI tool that's really good at coding, but it has no context. And so we need to provide as much context as we can and communicate our needs, what we're looking for, our skill level, where we're at. And the more context we can give Claude, just the better result that we're going to have. So now we are actually ready to give Claude a prompt. So you can cheat and you can get a prompt from ChatGPT. Okay, that's what I just did. And I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm building this application. It needs to have this. Basically create me a prompt that would include everything. And AI is going to be a lot better at delivering prompts than we are because AI knows how to talk to AI. So you can cheat and you can just go to ChatGPT or Claude and get the prompt to put into Claude Code. So I'm going to just do that. We'll just copy all of this for the MVP. Let's put this in here. I'm going to paste that in. And we're going to stay with plan mode because I actually want Claude to plan out this entire application before coding so we can make sure that's going to work on the right things. So let's just go ahead and run that. Okay, Front end, Next.js, tech stack. Yes. Okay, UI, UX design, Apple-inspired content, typography. Yeah, let's just make this look like Apple built it. Because why not? Core features, advanced features. So we can do yes and auto accept edits. And Claude is actually, you can see the mode now has switched to auto accept edits from plan mode, indicating that Claude is now actually building stuff, and it has created a to-do list, and it's going to start basically working on everything in order until we have a finished application. All right, guys, so Claude Code said it is finished up. It said I've successfully created a production-ready foundation for ChangeTrack Pro. Was not too long at all. That was only probably about 20 to 25 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and open up this preview. Ooh, okay. So looks like we're having an issue here, and it's not generating the preview correctly. Probably because we don't have everything configured just yet. But I'm just going to screenshot this and let Claude know what is happening. So just paste that in there. The preview is not running correctly. It looks like we have some errors. Fix these. And that's just the thing with these AI tools and these AI coding, programs right now, is they're going to get us 99% of the way there. But in my experience, you will have to do some debugging, and you will have to tell Claude to fix some errors. Again, you're not coding yourself, you're just giving feedback. And so I like to screenshot, that error, and I send it to Claude, and I give some context, and I say, fix this. Now, 5-6 months from now, we probably won't have to do this, and you'll just be able to one-shot a beautiful, perfect working application with one prompt. But for now, you will have to do a little bit of debugging, most likely, and give Claude some feedback of what to fix. Okay, now we should be good to go. Claude is telling me that we have a new demo that we'll check out here in a second. But real quick, I entered Claude into a new mode where it just bypasses permissions, because honestly, I didn't want to sit here for 10 minutes while it just fixes everything. And so I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. And you can actually make it so Claude doesn't ask you for permission on anything at all, and it'll just go. So when you start up Claude, you'll actually just type in Claude and then type in dangerously. Actually, sorry, I think this is --dangerously --skip -permissions. And basically this will load up Claude. Let me just run this and double check. Okay, actually it looks like I did the wrong Claude. I always forget the number of dashes. --skip -permissions. Okay, so basically this brings Claude into bypass permission mode, and so anytime Claude wants to make an edit or change something, it just won't ask you. Now, Anthropic says just be cautious because this mode can be a little bit dangerous, and Claude can go and destroy something on your computer. Now, in my case, that has never happened, and it's always been fine, and Claude has never destroyed my project. Let's go ahead and open this preview and see how it looks. Okay, not bad. It is actually working this time. So it says, eliminate revenue leakage from construction changes. That's not the most compelling copy ever. Everything you need to manage change orders from creation to approval. So it actually went and created us a landing page as well. Not bad. This could use a little bit of work, just some more color here and contrast and some better copywriting. I am probably going to remove this. This is something I would probably close people over the phone for. So I wouldn't have it just say the price right away, but instead I would lead them to a booked call. But yeah, let's just see if this works. Okay, start free trial. No. Okay, not bad. Pretty cool. So nice little dashboard here. Pending approvals, approved value, average cycle time, overdue approvals. Okay, additional HVAC work. View details. It'd be nice if actually, okay, starting break here because this is just a demo mode. View details, download PDF, electrical upgrade, foundation reinforcement. This is actually pretty freaking cool, guys. Change orders. Let's see if we can go to projects. The UI is a little bit like slow. I want to definitely add some like more animation so it feels like more alive and more fluid. Yeah, this is configure Supabase to enable full functionality. Okay, so I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to give it too much flack right now because we're not connected to Supabase. Projects, office building A, total change value. Warehouse expansion, total change value. This is this is pretty cool. I mean, I'm no commercial construction person, but this looks like something they could use. Okay, so a lot of the pages, it looks like it's just loading the core functionality. It keeps telling me this is a demonstration, configure Supabase to enable full functionality. So I'm actually pretty happy with this so far. This is basically what we wanted to do. I don't see a section like where it's sent to, the client to get signatures. I don't know if Claude will be able to generate like a real example PDFs, but this is a really good start. And we just did this. We did this with practically one prompt, right? We had another prompt or two to debug things, but we basically just did this with one prompt. So let's continue to work on this. Looks good. The dashboard looks good so far. So let's continue to work on it. You should see a to-do list in todo.md. So let's continue to work on that to-do list. Now, I see that a lot of pages are basically telling me that this is just demo data, and for me to see the full functionality, we need to attach Supabase. So I am ready to give my API keys for Supabase whenever you need it. So here we are at Supabase, and we are going to set up a database for our project now. So go ahead and sign up for a Supabase account. It's free to start, but once you do that, we're going to go to Dashboard. I will click into my organization here, and then I will click New Project. Project name, I don't know why this is autofilling. Hopefully that is not sensitive information that LastPass is autofilling here. Okay, and then I will just put in change track pro, create new project. Okay, so let's go back to Claude, and it says, great, I can see we have a comprehensive plan to get started with real Supabase integration and move beyond demo. I'll need your Supabase API keys. So it says, please provide your Supabase URL and your Supabase anon key. And so we're going to go back to our Supabase dashboard. We are going to click project settings here. And then we are going to get our project URL from this data API here on the left. So let's go ahead and copy that. I'm just going to go back, paste that, and then we'll go back and grab our API keys. Now, I'm not going to click this because it'll expose my API keys, but I'll see you back in Claude once we have pasted our Supabase URL and our API key. So Claude is finished, and Supabase was successfully integrated into our project, but there's just one more step we need to do to make sure that all of the data imports into Supabase. And so Claude Code says go to our dashboard, navigate to our project, and then go to the SQL editor. But we're going to copy and paste the migration script from this file here. So I'm going to do that right now. So we're going to go to Supabase here on the left, click that, and then we're going to click this file here, open that up. And now I am going to copy the contents of this. So just Command All, copy, and then we'll go over to Supabase. Then we're going to go to SQL editor at the top left here, paste that in, and then we are going to run that. Success, no rows returned. Okay, so we should be good to go here. Now I'm going to ask for another localhost preview, and we'll be able to test out our application and see if everything is working. Okay, so here we are in our localhost preview, and everything should be working now, so it should not be using demo data. So I'm going to have to do this again, since before that was just demo data that we entered. Failed to create company. Okay, not sure why that's happening. It's definitely a database error. So I'll go ahead and screenshot that, paste that into Claude Code, and just say, I'll bring up AquaVoice. I loaded up the preview on localhost, and I tried to sign up, but now it's giving me error, failed to create company. Okay, guys, we should be good to go now. I actually had to give one more API key to Claude Code, which you will find again in the API settings within your Supabase account. But let's go ahead and fire this up, and we should be able to successfully create an account. So, oops, let's do sign up, and then full name, Zane. Let me use an email I have not tried yet. So let's do Zane at hyperspecific.ai. Okay, start free trial. Looks like it took me back to the login. So let me see if I can log in. Email not confirmed. Okay, let me go and confirm my email real quick. I think it sent me an email confirmation. Okay, let's try signing in again after I confirm my email. Nice. And we are good to go. So it looks like there's still a little bit of demo data here, but I believe, okay, so there's a few pages we still need to fill in, like settings. Okay, so we do have some debugging to do. I mean, the app is looking pretty good. Like, I'm happy with it, especially for an MVP, but as long as we get this working, guys, and it can do what it says it can do, then we can sell this. Now, I always advise, building as you go. Sell it, start making some money, get some feedback from your clients, and make it better and build it as you go. As long as it's fulfilling on what you promised on, you can always make it better. So the website has a lot of broken pages right now. Now that we're connected to Supabase, let's finish the to-do list and actually build out this website. You will be able to see in the screenshots that I provided that we still have some broken pages that are giving me 404s, such as a settings page, such as a project creation page, and as well as the change order page is taking forever to load, and it's not able to load the change order data. And so we actually need to build out all of the functionality of the application right now. We should be able to successfully create a project and then create a change order according to that project, fill it out, save it, and then have the functionality to send it off to the proper people to sign and approve it. Okay, guys, so Claude just finished all of those fixes and all the pages should be working. And it says all the initial issues have been resolved and the application is ready for production use. So let's go ahead and try it out. I'm just going to refresh this page. And okay, the demo data is deleted. And let's check our pages to make sure they load. Change orders did load after a second there. Projects is loading. Team works. And settings works. Okay, pretty good. And this should be showing my profile. Yeah, this is a little bit glitchy, but at least it's showing my profile. And let's go ahead and go through the workflow. And for project name, we'll just put kitchen remodel. Project code, I'll just copy this, DOB2224, and I'll just copy all this. I don't know what that was. Okay, create project. Middleware is not a function. Okay, guys, so we had to do a little bit of debugging, just some buttons here and there and some weird glitches. And it's just really just going back and forth with Claude, nothing too complicated, just screenshotting stuff and telling Claude to fix it. And then I just told Claude to basically just finish up the application. So I'm getting basically instructions here to set up an email account so we can actually send out these change order requests. But first, before we do that, I'm just going to preview the application, just make sure that everything is working. So let's reset this, refresh the page. Okay, looks like we have a new tab there. Change orders loading, projects, team, audit trail, settings. Okay, so let's try to go through and just create something. So let's go to projects and we will create a project. Looks like that button's not working. Let me try this button. Okay, let's just put kitchen remodel. Or actually, let's just do like a big actual use case. Skyscraper downtown. Okay, DOB224. Okay, then we will create project. And the project's fine. Let me try refreshing. Okay, it looks like I just had to refresh the page to update that. And now let's create a change order for this project. Skyscraper downtown, additional order title. Let's do upgrade unit counters to marble. Upgrade all. And then we could just do I don't know, floor 202. Upgrade all unit counters to marble. This is the luxury penthouse floor. Okay. Description, marble installation, materials. Oh, this is just for materials. So just put marble. Quantity, let's put like 35. I don't know. Units, and then unit cost. How much is it for marble slab? I don't know. Like, let's put $6,000. Markup. Well, because we're going to be making money off this, let's mark it up 120%. I don't know how much construction companies actually mark these things up. And then I have a little next button down here that I'll click. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. So one more time, just got to go into Claude Code and debug this. Yeah, and just let them know that the next button on the change order for this first step is not actually working. Okay, we should be good to go. I was getting an error on the form because I think this only it was only letting me mark it up so much. So let's just do 20% markup and then click next. Okay, awesome. And now it has actually created the change order. We can send it off for approval. We can download a PDF. Let me try downloading a PDF. Pretty sweet. So it looks like a PDF did download based off the exact change order that we had with all of our statistics that we put in, the cost, the date, schedule impact, and it has everything that we input into the field. So not only do we have the ability to send change order requests now, but we have the ability to generate PDFs. So let me see if I can actually get approval for this thing. If so, then we are looking pretty good on functionality. Is anything happening in the audit trail? Let's see. Okay, cool. So the audit trail is working as well. Change order was created. Okay, pretty freaking cool. Okay, and the audit trail is working in the individual change order as well. So let's go ahead and add some team members to send these change orders to and get them approved. So I'll just put in another one of my emails here. Role client, add member. Okay, that seemed to work. Add another one. Just put in Zane too. Just put another one of my emails. And then this one should be finance. We'll add member. Okay, looks like that was added successfully as well. And I like how there's even different little icons here differentiating them and little color-coded tags. So let's go back to the change order, click get approval. Okay, and I can see myself in here, so like, nice, send off for approval. Now, this probably is not going to send for approval just yet. You can see it says routing, but we don't have any actual email functionality set up. So we are going to have to go back to Claude and set up some email functionality so we can actually send these off for approval. But other than that, it looks like everything is working. Our audit trail is working, team, project, change order, and then dashboard. So pretty cool. So let's just set up the email functionality now. Okay, super exciting. Here it is. Change track pro, approval required. Hello, Zane. A change order requires your approval. Please review the details. I don't know if this button's going to work, but let's see. Yes. Okay. So I actually haven't set up this page yet. Okay. Should be working now. Let's try this again. One more little issue here is for some reason, this is the wrong port. This link sent as the wrong port. It's on localhost 3001. So let's just change that to the right port and it should take me to the page to sign. Nice. Okay. So approval required. That looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Let's see what happens when I click this. Approving. Okay. A fat error right here. Not sure why I'm getting that, but I will copy that to bring into Claude Code and just let it know. Hopefully I'm not exposing any API key or anything right here. Okay, so this change order was approved on the client side, and you can see the status updated now for finance review. So I actually need to sign into the email that I use for the finance, and then once I sign from that email, it should be approved. Alrighty, we are now in the finance manager account to approve this, and once it's approved, it should update the status of the change order. So finance approval required. This is already approved by Zane. And so let's try to approve this. Nice. And you can see the status updated to approved. So I'm going to sign out of this account and actually sign back into the admin account just to make sure that everything looks good and was completed. Okay, we see our dashboard updated, approved value, pending approvals, because I just created one more. I was testing something out, but go to our change orders, approved. Now let's go to our audit trail and just make sure everything looks good. Very, very nice. Okay. So it looks like this is fully functional and working. So now we can create a project, we can implement a change order, we can send it off to the proper people to get it approved. We can get it all approved and we'll have a full audit trail documenting everything. So I would say the core functionality of this web application is done. Now, obviously we can continue to improve it and update it and add more functionality, but I would say this MVP is good to start selling. Now, the thing is, if you're trying to make money here and you're trying to sell a B2B web app like this and you're not totally sure because your idea is not completely validated yet, you don't want to be here all day tweaking every little button, tweaking every little thing, adding functionality and taking weeks to actually get this out. We have a really good guess that contractors will want this, but we don't know for sure until we start having sales calls, we start closing clients over the phone, and we start having paying users that are actually using this. Then once we know our idea is validated, then we can tweak and perfect everything. But for now, this MVP is pretty good to start pitching to contracting companies. So I'm going to basically I'm going to do 2 more prompts. Okay. I know I said we don't want to be sitting here tweaking everything, but I think that we could very easily and quickly just add a prompt to make things a little bit more engaging and make things a little bit prettier. Because right now this dashboard is pretty plain and it's all white. So Claude can just do some very simple style tweaks to give us a little bit more animation and like liveliness to this page. And then one more thing I want to do is if we go back to the home page, I want to make this landing page look a lot better. We are going to take out the 7-day free trial and we're going to take out this part because this is a high ticket thing. We would probably just close over the phone and send over a Stripe link. But yeah, we are going to go back to Claude and we're going to update the landing page and we are going to update the web app very briefly and simply and just make it look a little bit prettier. So I'm going to screenshot this and you know what? I'm actually going to do something pretty cool. So we're going to go back to Claude and I'm going to do agents and I'm going to do create new agent and we're going to do project, generate with Claude. And I'll bring up Aqua Voice. You are a professional copywriter. Your entire job is to skim over the entire landing page of our project and make sure that the copywriting is engaging, persuasive. It conveys that we understand our target market well. It speaks to the benefits, the transformation, and the results that they want without being too salesy, without being too pushy, but sounding confident, having a confident tone that we understand them and we can solve their problem. So I'm just going to spin up an agent to generate the copy on our landing page. So pretty cool little feature. Once again, so basically if you don't know what this is, you can spin up subagents that have very specialized tasks that will start to work on different parts of your project. So this copywriting agent is going to be specialized in copywriting. And right now we gave Claude a prompt. And so Claude is actually going to create everything else for us. I'll just continue access to all tools. We'll just give it access to Sonnet. We can make the agent to orange. And then we can see that Claude actually filled in some more details for us here. So use this agent when you need to review and optimize the copywriting on your landing page to ensure it's engaging. You're an expert copywriter, blah, blah, blah. Cool. That looks good to me. And let's create one more agent for design. We'll just do the project agent, generate with Claude. Okay, bring up Aqua Voice. You are a professional UI designer. You worked decades at Apple. Your entire job is to give an engaging, beautiful experience within the UI and the UX of our applications. You take a very modern tech approach, but not too crowded, not too overwhelming, but you take a very Apple-like approach where you only have the essentials, what needs to be there, but the elements that are there make a statement. Your design is beautiful, very round, you use rounded corners, it breathes. You love to incorporate subtle animations like rises and fades and hovers and glows and, all these different Apple UI-like elements. And your entire job is to design a beautiful, award-winning, incredible UI design landscape that is a pleasure and a wonderful experience to use. Okay. Let's go ahead and load that. And so we're going to have basically these two agents work in conjunction. We will have one agent obviously whip up the copywriting on the landing page, the other agent design. And then once we are good to go with the landing page, with the web application, then we will get this hosted on Vercel and actually push this live. Continued access to all tools, Sonnet. And we'll make this one like blue. Okay. Yes, use this agent when you need a design interface. You're an elite UI UX designer. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'll press escape to exit this agent portal. And if you go here at the top, you can actually see we now have this agents folder. And if we open this up, we have our markdown file of our Apple UI designer. And then we have a markdown file of our copywriter. So you can edit these at any time as well. Or you don't even really need to use the agent portal if you don't want to. You can just basically import your own markdown files or create your own markdown files manually. Now let's work on the landing page. It's pretty basic and it's pretty bare right now. First of all, let's remove the start free trial and change this instead to book a demo or book a call. And then remove the $2,000 a month subheadline underneath, because we are going to sell this over the phone. So we're not going to disclose price on the landing page. Now, we need to make the copywriting much more engaging. So let's use our copywriting agent to do this, to skim over the entire page and to adjust the copywriting of our application. Let's use persuasive, engaging, personal copywriting that is focused on benefits, results, transformations, that paints a picture in the user's head of what life will be like after they use ChangeTrack Pro, how much money it will save them, how it's going to streamline their processes, how they're going to be so much more profitable and stress-free, and the communication with their clients has never felt so seamless before. Something that was once messy and stressful and frustrating is now going to be a seamless experience that they don't really have to worry about, because ChangeTrack Pro takes care of it for them. Now, after the copywriter goes over the entire copywriting and optimize it for persuasiveness, let's have the Apple UI designer then redesign this page. It's much too white right now. So let's use more beautiful colors like a cyan blue. Let's use black, let's use whites, and let's redesign this entire UI to be a lot more startup feel, startup focus, future focus, as if Apple designed it. So we should have little subtle, beautiful animations, smooth, fluid animations like fades and glows and rises and reflections. And the entire page should just feel like a new experience. Our client should come to our website and just feel like, wow, these guys are different and they're doing something different and I want a part of this. So in conjunction with our copywriting agent and our UI designer agent, it should create a beautiful, engaging, immersive experience that feels very future forward, that feels like we get it, we understand them, but we're not too disconnected. We're not just a tech company. We actually understand our market and their needs, and it should overall convey us as professionals. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. Now, what's cool is you can easily identify these subagents in the terminal here because they use colored labels, but they should be done. So let's go check it out. Okay, not bad. I like the blue. It went light. I thought it was going to go dark, but I actually really like this. Stop losing 30K to 150K per project to unsigned change orders. The hidden profit killer. I like it. Every commercial contractor knows the pain, scope, changes happen. But getting them approved and paid is where projects bleed money. Built different, built for results. This actually looks like pretty good, guys. Like something that we could definitely sell. I am happy with this. So it updated the UI. So now we have like these fluid. This hovers, this expands. I really like this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go sign in. I didn't tell it to do anything to the actual dashboard yet, but I'm just curious. Okay, it's probably a good thing to do anything to the actual dashboard, because that would not be good if Claude started to go rogue and doing things I didn't ask for. So I'm gonna go back to, I think I kind of overkill sometimes with all the screenshots, but like it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt just to give specific context. The landing page looks awesome. I love it. Now let's update the inside web application dashboard and every single page, including change orders, projects, team, audit trail, settings, to incorporate this new modern UI with touches of blue, and also all of our animations that we just incorporated on the landing page. All right, the dashboard should be updated to our new design, so let's check it out. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Definitely a lot more modern. Nice fluid little floating animations here. I like that on pretty much everything. Okay, did color code our buttons here, which I like. And then everything just kind of has like a nice, like fluid, alive feel. Like the application feels a lot more alive and not just static like it was before. Change orders. Okay, this is totally different. I don't know why the search bar is like dark gray here, but that looks pretty good. Let's do view details. This looks pretty similar to before. Yeah, so it looks like it left this page alone, which is okay. That page doesn't look too bad. So like it went ultra, ultra kind of like Apple-like with this. Projects. Yeah, I mean, this all looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like is just this gray search bar. Yeah, it looks like it left these pages actually going. Let me click on that. Yeah, so most of these are the same. Projects, team manager. Oh, this definitely looks a lot better. Oh, wow, there's even like a glow depending on what your title is. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I mean, basically just looks like a modern SaaS application now. Audit trail looks exactly the same, which is okay, because this doesn't need to be too fancy. Let's see if it updates settings. Yeah. Oh, that setting page looks nice. This might be my favorite page. This looks really nice with the different colored windows here. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this overall. There's just a couple things I'm going to change. Okay, I'm not going to be too nitpicky, but I want to change these. I think I'll flip the colors. Or just make the background a lot lighter, because it's hard to see those icons. So let me paste that in here. And then these search bars should not be like dark gray. So I'll paste that in there. And then there's one more, right? Man, this team page does look nice too. Guys, like this is crazy. Look at that animation. Look at, it's so unnecessary, but why not? I mean, if you can just tell Claude with one prompt, like this is crazy how it's glowing and enlarging like that. I love that. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let's go back. While we're waiting for Claude to make those changes, why don't we get our website ready to actually host live on Vercel? Now, Vercel is a free platform where we're going to be hosting our website, our web application, to actually get it live and add a domain to it. Now, in order to easily push it to Vercel, you're going to need a GitHub account. And GitHub is basically where we're going to back up our project and save all of our progress. So if anything happened to your computer locally and for whatever reason the files got deleted, everything will be backed up to GitHub safe on the cloud. And GitHub is also a really nice paid place just to keep track of all of your changes and your updates. So we're just going to create a new repository, and we're going to call this change track pro, and then we'll just do construction change order management. You're going to want to make sure you set this to private so nobody else can steal your application, and then we'll create the repo. Okay, so now we have a repo link. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this link and give it to Claude Code, so Claude Code can actually back up all of our data into GitHub without us having to do too much. I can just go and grab my GitHub repo link, and I'll just say back up our entire project to this GitHub repo. And Claude will basically just save our entire ChangeTrack Pro project to our repo link. Now, why this is a very important step is because, yes, you have to save your data and we have to back up everything so we don't lose it. But Vercel makes it very easy to get our application live because we can just import a GitHub link. So if I go here to add new project, then we can just import from GitHub. So make sure you create a GitHub account, it's free, and create a Vercel account, it's free. Back up your project to GitHub, as Claude is doing right now, where you're going to take that GitHub repo, and we are going to then import it into Vercel to easily get our project live. Okay, so it says your entire ChangeTrack Pro has been successfully backed up to GitHub. So I'm just going to go double check real quick, go back to this repo, and I'm going to just refresh this page. And as you can see, everything was backed up. Right now, we even have a README of all of the core features, what it can do. And so it's just a really nice place to store our data. So I think I already have the link copied. So we're just going to go to Vercel now. And to get this live, I'm going to do add new project, continue with GitHub. Now you can see this makes it, again, really easy. Vercel makes it easy on us. So I have my ChangeTrack Pro app right here. I'll just click import. Next.js. Looks good, looks good, looks good. And then let's just click. So this is actually going to be our API keys. So to have a working application, we'll actually have to put all of our API keys here to safely store them within Vercel, but we're just going to deploy this for now. All right, now we got this. Congratulations, you just deployed a new project, and we can see a little preview of our landing page there. So let's just continue to dashboard. And let's just make sure everything is working. So we'll actually visit our application. And yeah, seems to be loading up in Vercel just fine. And we can see we have a Vercel link up here. Now let me just try signing in and make sure everything is still functional. So we'll sign in. And yes, our dashboard is loading with our updated visual changes and everything looks really good still. Yeah, awesome. So this website, this web app is technically now live and you could start charging for this. Now, if you wanted to add your custom domain to this, we'll just go back. We'll just go back to the project. Let's see. Oops. Okay. So if we wanted to add our custom domain to this, we would actually just go to our project up here. And then we would go to settings. And then we would go to domain. And you can easily just add your own custom domain to this website. So changetrackpro.com. You can either buy it here right on Vercel, or you can add the domain. Now, this is an amazing time to be living in because in less than a day, we found a painful problem. We vibe coded a solution without writing any code ourselves whatsoever, and now we can sell this for thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, Claude Code can even optimize this website for SEO, so we pop up first when people type in change order for contractors. Claude Code can whip up an automation for us to find us thousands of emails of contractors and email them booking a call to sell them over the phone. And so if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and in future videos, I will show you how to optimize your applications for SEO. I'll show you how to whip up automations to get leads to actually sell to, and I'll show you the entire process from A to Z, from building this out to closing your first high-ticket application. So once again, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope you got value from it, and I'll see you in the next one.